Last week of February 2020, which means it's time for the channel update. Welcome to the vlog. Hey and welcome to the Woodgrafter. I'm Andy Guile, and if you're new here to the Woodgrafter, welcome on board. Our mission is to inspire, educate and support you in your journey to becoming a better woodworker. We do that through a whole series of video productions. Here on YouTube we do quick project builds, we do tool tips, tool reviews, techniques, get together once a month for a jolly old chat, videos like this one. We're also supported by a website, www.thewoodgrafter.com, and over there you will find plans, you will find a vibrant community having a great chat about our favourite hobby, and you'll also find detailed project builds, step by step, how to create something. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe now, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I like to hear from you and I respond to each and every comment, or crack over to the website and grab yourself a free membership. With that said, let's look at this monthly update. What a month it has been. The channel seems to have gone crazy and the website seems to have taken off. I think we hit lucky. We had a run of videos that seemed to resonate really well. And that's pretty cool because we come out of a bit of a dead spell. The coffee table build, which is the last detailed project build I will do on YouTube, really struggled to attract an audience. We had a consistent audience all the way through, but it was around about 500 people who seemed to be interested in that project. So in the last month I changed it up a little bit. I moved away from project videos and did more quick turnaround videos, some tooltip reviews. We did a great video about bench dogs and the difference between the bench dogs on the marketplace today and what should you choose. And that seemed to resonate really well. Great engagement. We were well over 1,000 views pretty quickly. The second one that we did was all about dust extraction, and if you remember, we took a slightly different approach than we normally see on YouTube. We had a look at how you designed it. We looked at the airflow through the system, the loss across typical components of a system, and really surprised ourselves by the capacity you actually need in your dust extractor, even for a small shop such as this one. Now, the one that really resonated and really took off well was my conversation about my MFTs. And if you've seen that video, you know I'm going to be selling my MFTs. Now that video took off like there was no tomorrow, and it's well over 13,000 views making of this video, and it's only been out for 5 or 6 days. By my channel, that is huge. That is almost a viral video. And the interaction and the comments that came back from that video were unbelievable. So yeah, it's been a great month, and as a result of those videos, membership has increased, the interaction of the channel has increased, and the interaction over on the website has increased as well. So I cannot complain. Obviously we need to repeat that in March, but we'll see how we go. I think it's a bit hit and miss about which videos resonate well, and obviously it depends what YouTube pushes, what you interact with. YouTube pushes it, audience engages, YouTube push it harder, and so it goes up. So that's where we're up to. Great month. Now the MFT video, as I said, got huge feedback, huge comments, lots of stuff coming in. And people got a bit confused about what I'm going to do. No, I am not selling every single MFT tool that I own. I am not selling my domino, I'm not selling my sander, I'm not selling my Capex, I'm not selling my router. So please stop writing to me saying how much I want for those tools, because they are not for sale. You'd have to grab those tools out of my dead cold hands before I would let them leave this workshop. What I'm moving away from are the tables, the MFT style tables that tend to have this wobble inside it. And as I've used those over time, it's not a wobble I want in my workflow. It's just taking me away from that perfection that I demand in my project builds. So we're going to build something different. What I will be selling, however, is one of the MFT tables with the accessory kit that will be going. But I'll be retaining one of the MFT tables because I still like them for portability. I still like to be able to take those to a job site and use them. So I'll still be retaining one table. And it will be used with the benchdogs.co.uk rail system, the fence, the rail dogs, the fence dogs, the bench dogs, etc., to give me the speed and accuracy I'm looking for, even out in the field. It's just in the workshop we're going to do something different. My new bench is going to be 3 meters long so it's going to give me a lot of working area. It's going to be about 1 metre wide, including the back panel where I want to store tools and have a bit of a tool rest. It's going to have a tool rest underneath so I can quickly put a tool on there mid workflow, and a whole series of drawers and cupboards for storage underneath. It's going to be based on a typical hand tool bench design, i.e. a very, very strong solid framework with immense weight inside it, so it's really strong, sturdy and rigid. But I'm going to inset into the top an MFT top 20mm grid of holes using a top I can just buy from the marketplace, from eBay, a CNC ready top for not an awful lot of money. So I'm going to give you a very quick sneak peek of that. So let's whiz over to the computer and have a look. So this is what we are aiming for. As you can see, it's a really solid construction. Key features of this one, it's got a laminated top. It's got a leg vise on one end of it for more traditional woodworking type activities. Taking a tip from the MFT, and I've got this gold rail across the front embedded there for clamping opportunities. You can see I've got these shelves here in the middle, so I'm using a tool and I can quickly bang it under here before going on to the next stage of the process. Cupboards underneath, now these are more likely to be a combination of cupboards and drawer space. What I want to be able to do is have my hand tools available, so simply pull out a drawer, grab the tool I want and carry on with the workflow. And a really solid frame. I'm probably going to build this out of a high quality pine material. Don't want to spend too much money on the workbench. You can see at the end it's got these recessed parts, and that's where I'm going to store some of the smaller hand clamps that I have for me, and that's going to make those quick and easy to get access to as well. Now the top's somewhat unique. I've not seen this done before, but I'm trying to combine the functionality of a hand tool bench with the practicality of the MFT, that 2020 grid system. So I'm making this out of laminations, and you can see here there's a laminated portion at the end, a laminated portion at the end, and in the center here I'm going to drop 2 MFT tops. I'm designing it so it will take a standard size MFT top, so I can quickly change these as they wear out over time and not have to go back to rebuild the bench. You can see if I come in a little bit, I've got this slight dip here in this laminated top, so this actually sits proud of this surface, and that's obviously so I can use it as a cutting station. At the back I'm using that dead space for a couple of tool caddies. I can put things inside here. I've got a tool rest in the middle, so the TS55 will sit quite happily on there as required. If I just drop the top off, you can see what I'm doing. It's going to be a laminated top, and it's got these recesses here where the MFT goes. Now looking underneath that, you can see I've got this brace supporting these key areas. So that means I can actually use this as a chiseling station. So all the chiseling pressure will not be bouncing around as you do on an MFT or a torsion top. The weight will be supported by the cross brace and brought straight down into the legs, and that should give me a very stable surface for doing chisel work on. In terms of clamping pieces on here, everything is flush at the front. So if I clamp a piece of wood here, it's also supported by this cross brace here, or this leg, or this leg. So if I am doing dovetail type work, there's no rock in that. It's incredibly secure. Now in terms of construction, everything is going to be mortise and tenon, so that's quite an interesting feature as well. So no dominoes on this one. And without the top on, you can really start to see the construction that we are going for. So yeah, so that's it. That's the bench, that's the concept design. I've got to do the detailed design, work out the cutting lists and what have you, which is my next step. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to build this beast. Okay, so that's what we're up against, and that build will be over on the website in the very near future. Let's have a look at the channel progress and see how we're getting on. So here we are, February 2020. The focus has not changed. I am settling now on Tuesday videos 7 o'clock GMT time, 7 in the evening, 1900 hours, and I'm sticking with inspire, educate and support as my key catchphrase. Inspiring through ideas, tips and reviews here on the YouTube channel, educating through step-to-step project builds over on the website, and supporting through questions here in the community. We reset some 2020 goals. We're looking for 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, 2.5 million minutes of watch time on YouTube, and over 500 subscribers over at the website. I'm going to be doing 4 deep dive website projects, and I want to introduce season 1 of the beginner's guide to woodworking. Now, I've been thinking long and hard about how I actually cover the costs of running the YouTube channel and the website, because both financially and from a time point of view, they're very, very heavy. And although I love doing it, it's got to pay for itself, and advertising revenue is not taking me there, and I don't think it ever will. Now, I've also opened donations up over on the website, so if you want to look at one of the courses, you can donate some money. If you want to take the plans, you can donate some money, and most people just take it and don't donate things. So at the moment, it's nowhere near paying for itself. I'd hate to get to the end of this year and have to close both of those things down because they're not financially viable, because I really do think it's a great resource, and if it continues to build over time, it's going to only get better and better and better. So what am I going to do? These 4 deep dive projects will continue to be free projects, and they will continue to be donation for this year. This season 1 of the beginner's guide to woodworking, I am going to put behind a pay firewall. So that's going to be either subscription based, or you can download the entire course all at once, entirely up to you. And obviously if you subscribe, you then get access to season 2 and season 3 and season 4 onwards. I may put some of the more advanced projects on that same basis, but don't panic, the projects will not move to subscription in 2020, and the YouTube channel will always obviously stay free and based on advertising revenue. So this is going to be an experiment to see if people are actually interested in a subscription based course that takes you from zero knowledge to actually beginning to create things. These projects will stay free or donation based, and we'll see how we get on. So obviously my focus in the business continues to be much more around this education side, but I do want to launch this website and start to get some commissions. It's not an immediate priority at the moment. And as well as the commissions, I also want to have a look at some of the craft projects. I've got some members over on the website who use Etsy stores, and they're knocking out some really nice projects. Simple clocks or flappy paddles, you know who you are and what that means. And that's really interesting. What they're doing on Etsy is selling those products and doing local craft fairs. And I've always had this idea in my mind, if I can work out how to do mass production cheaply enough of crafted products, then I'd like to put those into local shops, maybe on Etsy stores or Amazon stores and my own store, obviously. So I am thinking of investing in a CNC machine and starting to design a whole series of projects that the computer can knock out at speed for a relatively low cost, but still retain that handcrafted quality of product that I want to be known for. So watch that. That's an idea that will develop, and that might change my approach to commissions. So this is what we're thinking of doing. Obviously the light bluey colours here are on YouTube, the blue ones are over on the website. Next week I'm thinking of putting out a very, very simple video around MDF restoration, and in case you're wondering what these are laying on the bench, these are some drawer fronts of a series of drawers that are in the master bedroom in my own home, and Mrs. Woodgrafter has got a snag list of things around the home that she wants me to have a look at, and one of those was restoring these MDF. So this is a halfway through the project. This is a chalk based finished, and what I've done is I've taken away some plastic covering, some plastic wood covering from these. We've taken it down to remove all the glue and all the marks, and then we've rebuilt this using chalk paint, primers, sealers and a variety of techniques to get to this stage. Needs one more coat of paint to make it beautifully smooth, and then I'm going to wax this, and then that job is finished. It can go back on the drawers. Now, but I thought it was an interesting technique. MDF is not a material I use an awful lot, and chalk paint is not something that's overly familiar to me as a finish. So looking around YouTube to get some inspiration wasn't an awful lot that told me how to do this, so bit of research, thought I'd share the knowledge. So that video of how I get to this stage or complete this project will be coming out next week. Now I've pretty much finished the end-to-end coffee table. Now a number of you got in touch and said, you know, love the coffee table series, it was very, very long. I'd really like those shorter versions, bit of editing, bit of music in the background that just shows the build process for entertainment. So I'm going to create one of those, and that will be out on the 8th. I then want to give you a bit more detail on the workbench introduction. By this point I'll have started the course over on the website, so I'll let you know what's going on inside there, and we'll go through the designs and the plans and the concept in a bit more details in that video. I've then got quite an exciting thing on the 22nd, a product review. If you've been over to benchdogs.co.uk on their website, they're starting to create one of those angles, one of those plates that goes onto the Festool or the Makita or the DeWalt rails that give you a guaranteed 90 degrees when you're cutting sheets down, and it removes another step from the process of using MFT tables. So I was talking to Ralph a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to ping one of those over just for us to have a look at and see what we think. So if that comes through, that's great. I know he's still waiting on shipment, so it's subject to change, but ideally we'll be looking at a new product on the 22nd, and then the 29th takes us back to the monthly update. Over on the website on the 11th, a couple of weeks away, I want to launch the workbench course. There'll be the concept video out. We'll talk about the design. I'll then put something up on YouTube to coincide with the workbench introduction, so people know we're now live with the course, and then we'll get into the build details in subsequent weeks. So all that's going on this month, so another busy month. So let's see how we're getting on the metrics. Well, look at this, we continue to grow like there's no tomorrow. So from a watch time point of view, we're targeting 2.5 million views by the end of this calendar year in December, and in January we had 1.7 million, and here in February we've now got 1.8 million minutes of videos watched. 1.8 million of Woodgrafter videos watched around the world. If you've been with me for a long time, remember that very first vlog that we did, and I was really excited because we managed to get a subscriber. We managed to get about 5 or 10 views on the video. That's amazing, isn't it? Subscribers, last month we were 7,500. This month 8,600 subscribers when I make this video. That's an increase inside a month of 1,100. Now typically each month I get about 500 subscribers, so to suddenly see that leap to 1,100 is phenomenal, and that was on the back, I think, predominantly of those 3 videos that seem to have resonated well with YouTube and yourself, so thank you so much. And if you're one of my new subscribers, welcome on board. Now the website's also done well. To say, when we launched we had about 92 people, combination of those who went on the beta program with me to help me get the thing designed, to iron out the wrinkles, and then people who just found it and stumbled from the channel. And it's only really this month I've been pushing that a little bit more as part of the videos, and you can see we're now at 414 members on the website, from 92 to 414, and my overall target for the year is 500. Now remember, when I set the 500 target, I want that to be 500 interactive users. Now interaction is beginning to increase as well. I've got much more involved in that. Each day I'm logging into the system, I'm seeing what's going on, I'm commenting and putting thoughts out there. And I've noticed more people are now beginning to post projects they're proud of, questions, observations. So if you're not engaged in that, then please log back in, start to look at what's going on in the conversations, and please join in. The more interaction I can get inside that community, the more valuable resource it's going to be, and the more people that we attract. So that's really exciting as well. And to be at 414, so pretty much a standing start, is phenomenal. So as I say, it's been a fantastic month. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to cover today, just to bring you up to speed. I hope you're looking forward to the table build. I know a lot of people are very interested in what I'm doing there and where that's going to next, so we'll share a bit of information in a couple of weeks about that. And with that said, I'll see you soon.